So this is introducing you to Raja Ampat Reef by Ihyun, me, Ameya, and Elysia. So brief introduction is that Raja Ampat is located in the northwest corner of Indonesia's West Papua region and is part of the Coral Triangle, which actually contains 30% of the entire world's coral reefs, so that's really cool. Coral reefs here have a higher diversity of coral and fish species than anywhere else in the world, and there are up to 40 endemic coral species, which means these species are only found at Raja Ampat, and these include Astropora, Anacropora, and Acropora sucarcinoi. Raja reefs are more resilient to coral bleaching than other places because they're exposed to a variety of temperatures. So as to how the reefs have been affected, they're actually relatively healthy compared to other places. But due to destructive overfishing, shark and fish populations have seen a dramatic decline. Here is a map of Raja Ampat. This is in the Indonesia area, and here are the main islands. First, good news. In 2016, the Ocean Health Index reported that reefs at Raja Ampat are still healthy amid widespread coral bleaching. But an example of coral bleaching was in Waigeo Island in 2020, when changes in temperature caused the bleaching of some coral reefs. And another way the reef has changed over time negatively was the cruise ship accident in 2017 when the Caledonian Sky ran into Raja Ampat because it was too close to the reef and it caused a ton of damage.
So looking at the threats of the coral reefs, more than 85% of reefs within the Coral Triangle region in the Raja Ampat Islands are being threatened. And being compared to the global average of 60%, it's a lot higher. The majority of the threats come from overfishing, including destructive fishing, which is a fishing practice that can result in irreversible damage. Overfishing causes harm to coral reefs because of their fishing gear and the increasing need of coral reef fish. Shark populations in Raja Ampat have also taken a toll because of their practices and their needs in fins. As a result, in 2007, the local government worked on protecting the Raja Ampat's coral reefs. And that was an image of the coral reefs in Raja Ampat. Some additional threats are deforestation, oil and gas leaks, and climate change. In spite of those conditions, Raja Ampat has relatively healthy ecosystems.
In order to find out how to combat the changes happening in coral reef, we must first understand the role of photosynthesis as well as cellular respiration in corals. Algae in the cell of the coral called symbiodinium are photosynthetic, and the products of photosynthesis are used by the cell in its cellular respiration. Increase in temperatures as well as decrease in pH level damages the photosystem used in light reaction of photosynthesis, enzymes used in substrate level phosphorylation of cellular respiration, and the decrease in pH level. It also decreases the carbonates, which are used to make the calcium carbonate cells of the coral. Fortunately, like Amber mentioned, Raja Ampat coral reef has not been completely devastated by the coral bleaching because of their resistance to coral bleaching. But this does not mean that they can resist forever, especially at this rapid rate of climate change. In order to prevent Raja Ampat from dying, it is important to take actions to keep the oceans cool and the pH level neutral. Few of the specific actions include lowering our use of fossil fuels, like gasoline, which are typically used in vehicle generators, machinery, and lawnmowers. This is an image of the fossil fuel.
Now we can go into the solutions to save the coral reef. From a human perspective, we can reduce our own carbon footprint by saving electricity, recycling, and other things. This will reduce global warming and reduce the rise of ocean temperatures. From a global perspective, we can reduce pollution from factories, cars, and others so that acidic pollutants will not affect ocean pH. And we can also stop destructive fishing and poaching, as this will save the ocean's ecosystem as well as the corals. This is the picture of different things we can reduce to reduce our carbon footprint. We can also reduce our gas emissions in the world. And this is a cause and effect after destructive fishing, as it shows how the destructive fishing leads to corals being damaged and destroyed.
That was our presentation about the Raja and Pet Coral Reef, and thank you so much for listening.